What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the DMZ video with ItsYoLando. Today I'm giving you the 5 best SMGs that you need for DMZ Season 6. If you guys looking for a specific build, go to the description below and you can go to the timestamps and go to the specific gun that you want to look at first. Just click that and go right to the video if you don't have much time. Hit that big subscribe button if this video helps you out a lot. Let's get right into it. Starting off in my #1 slot for SMGs in DMZ Season 6 is going to be the BAS-P. The recent update, guys, they buffed this gun a lot. This gun's really good and probably that 8 to 15 meter mark, and this is going to be the build I'm going to recommend to you guys. I have the 10.5 inch Bruin Typhoon barrel. I have it at a plus 0.24 toward recoil steadiness, and we have a negative 0.14 toward aimed out sight speed. This barrel is really good. I like it. It has an integrated suppressors. It's going to keep you silent when you're playing DMZ. I do run a laser with mine. I have the 1 milliwatt quick fire laser. The tunings for it are going to be a negative 0.23 toward sprint to fire, and I have a negative 3126 toward aim down sight speed. Lasers are good. They keep your gun steady when you're firing, keep you on target, and also they make you that you sprint to fire. Your sprint to fire times are a lot less. I have a Slimline Pro optic on this gun. Obviously, you don't have to use an optic with this weapon, but I do recommend it because it does bounce a little bit. You can use any of these little red dots, but I use a Slimline Pro, and I'll give you my build for it also. It is a negative 1.74 toward aim down sight speed, and I have it all the way to the far left at a plus 240 toward close. Also have the Bruin Flash rear grip on this weapon. It is a negative 0.32 toward aim down sight speed, and a plus 0.28 toward aim idle stability. This thing's going to help you keep on target. Also helps with that little bit of sprint to fire time also. And then I have a 50 round magazine on this weapon. The BAS-P is very good right now. I like that Bruin barrel. The laser's good. Let's hop into the firing range and I'll show you where you should use this gun the most. All right, guys, we're in the firing range with the BAS-P. I'm going to be showing you guys where to use this. Obviously, you want to be using the BAS-P in that first target range. That's an SMG range. That's where you need to be practicing the most. You never want to shoot at anybody with an SMG at that third target range. That's too far. That's honestly sniper and borderline AR range. I think that's pretty far even for an AR. But this second target, you can shoot at it. Obviously, this gun does bounce quite a bit at that range, but honestly, for an SMG, you really just want to focus on this first target range. This is where it's going to primarily be used, and this is where it's really good at, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this gun build because I really do like it, and I think it's really good for Season 6. And let's hop on to #2 slot. Guys, coming in at my #2 slot is probably my favorite SMG in the game right now. This has been probably the #1 SMG the whole entire game of MW2 and DMZ. It has been taken over by the BAS-P. I think the BAS-P is a better gun overall. That's why I put it in #1. But my #2 slot is definitely the Lachman Sub. I got the FTAC M Sub 12 inch barrel. We're going to go with a negative 0.29 toward aim walking speed and a plus 0.09 toward damage range. It's a good barrel. I like it. It gives you a little bit more range than some of the smaller barrels. I do highly recommend using this barrel. I have the VLK LZR 7mm light laser. We're going to go with a negative 0.24 toward sprint to fire and a negative 21.39 toward aim down sight speed. Like I said, with other SMGs, the lasers really do help you keep on target. It helps with that sprint to fire time. That way you can pull your gun up and shoot faster than somebody with like an AR. I do have the FT mobile stock on this gun. This stock helps you with a lot of mobility, makes you move around faster, and you're harder to hit when you move around a lot. A negative 2.97 toward aim down sight speed, and a negative 1.24 toward aim walking speed. Like I said, guys, the mobile stock just helps with a lot of more mobility type movements, sprint to fire, aim walking speed, crouching movement speed. It tells you right here. And like I said, this is probably the best stock to use on this gun. I do have the Lachman TCG grip on it, and this helps with your recoil control. It is a negative 0.29 toward aim down sight speed, and a plus 0.09 toward aim idle stability. Like I said, this just helps you with rear grip. It's just going to help you with your recoil control. You can put a 40 or 50 round magazine on this gun. Completely optional. The 50 is going to have a longer reload, but you do get extra ammo. Like I said, that's just completely up to you. Let's hop into the firing range. I'll show you how to use this gun. All right, guys, we're in the firing range with the Lachman Sub, and like with all the SMGs, you want to be practicing with this first target. That's going to be your SMG range, guys. You want to stay within 10 meters with all your SMGs. Never try to shoot people at this distance. Obviously, you can shoot at this distance. The problem is you're just going to lose more gunfights, especially if they have like an AR. They're just going to beat you because the TTK at that range is just better with an AR. But with this first range, the SMGs just absolutely shred. The Lachman Sub is really good within 10 meters. Guys, give it a try. Let's hop on to our #3 slot. Guys, I got the ISO 45 coming in at the #3 slot for the SMGs. I've got the 9-inch PTX trainer on this gun, the barrel, and that's going to be at a negative 0.15 toward aim walking speed and a plus 0.19 toward damage range. Guys, this gun's really good, and I highly recommend it probably for those 8 to 15 meter gunfights. It's going to really shine in there. It's not as good as the Lachman Sub up close, but it's definitely better at range than the Lachman Sub. So I'm going to put this in my 3rd slot for that reason. I've got the Spiral V3 flash hider on this at a 0.45 plus toward recoil smoothness and a plus 0.26 toward gun kick control. This is really good. I like this over a suppressor. It just helps with the recoil control more than a suppressor. I've got the VLK LZR 7mm laser. We've got it at a negative 0.24 toward sprint to fire speed and a negative 19.74 toward aim down sight speed. With all the other lasers, it just helps with that aim down sight speed and the sprint to fire times. I have the Slimline Pro optic on it. You don't have to use an optic on this gun. You can use iron sights, or you can pick any of these sights that you would like to, but I'll give you the tunings for my Slimline Pro. I've got it at all the way to close at a plus 240, and then I've got it at a negative 1.45 toward aim down sight speed. Guys, you can pause the video at any point and just copy these settings. I've got it at 45 round mag on this gun, and that's definitely, you want to use the 45. You definitely don't want to be using this 12 grain. Let's hop into the firing range. I'll show you how to use this weapon. Guys, we're in the firing range now with the ISO 45. You're going to be practicing with this first target as always with all the other SMGs, and it's really good. That first target is going to be the sweet spot for this. Obviously, if you have to shoot at somebody from this distance, you can, and that's where this gun shines over the Lachman Sub. This gun's a lot better at that distance on that second target than the Lachman Sub. It just, the TTK keeps pretty consistent at that distance, and you could definitely use this. It's more viable. But guys, this is why I have this gun at number 3. I think it's really good, and I'll catch you guys at the number 4 slot. Guys, coming in at my number 4 slot, I've got the Veil 46. This gun's really good. It's one of those more medium range SMGs also, but you can use it up close if you want. I've got the Tango 228 barrel on it. I'll show you the tunings for it. I've got a plus 0.21 toward recoil steadiness, and I have a negative 0.25 toward aim down sight speed. Like I said, this is a good barrel. It helps with that range a little bit. I like it probably over not using a barrel at all. And I do have a laser on this, as always, on pretty much all my SMGs. I'm using the quick fire laser, as always. The negative 0.19 toward sprint to fire speed, and I have a plus 19.74 toward aim idle stability. I would probably try to get that close to 20 as possible. Like I said, lasers I always keep with your sprint to fire speed. You can check right here. It does tell you. It helps with your aim down sight speed, and usually your sprint to fire does help quite a bit. Your Slimline Pro, this is completely optional, guys, if you want to use the sight. If not, I like the Slimline Pro. It's probably one of my favorites. Here's my tunings for it. I've got a negative 0.39 toward aim down sight speed. We have it all the way to close at plus 240. And then I've got the Slogger Soldier Grip, and I've got it at a plus 0.19 toward recoil steadiness, and I have a negative 0.15 toward sprint to fire speed. And then also have a 60 round mag. Completely optional, guys, if you want to run the 50 or 60, but I definitely like using those over like the 30 round. Let's hop into the firing range. I'll show you how to use this. All right, guys, we're in the firing range with the Veil 46. This gun, like I said, is really good, probably in this medium range right here. You can see it takes out those targets really fast. Obviously, I can throw the 3 plates on real quick just to show you, but this gun is very solid. Like I said, it's a really good SMG, and this gun has always been very consistent through all the seasons, and like I said, I really like it a lot, and that's why I have it in my 4th slot. Let's hop right into number 5. Guys, going into my 5th slot, there's a lot of different guns competing for the 5th slot, but it's just too hard not to recommend the BAS. Obviously, this gun can be found very easily on the ground from the bots and DMZ, but I just can't put another gun over it. It's just that good. Here's the build I'm going to be using for it, so you guys can copy this. If you pick it up off the ground, you can put it on your gun, or you can just put it in as an insured weapon. So I have a laser on this. I have the FSS OLVE laser. I've got a negative 0.21 toward sprint to fire, and a negative 19.74 toward aim down sight speed. Guys, I would try to get this toward a negative 20 as possible toward that aim down sight speed. Like I said, that's a good laser. I really like to run it a lot. I got the stock on it, the OTR stock. We're going to put a negative 1.55 toward aim down sight speed, and I've got a plus 1.01 toward aim idle stability. Try to get that close to as 1 as possible. And we're going to move down to the True Tack grip. I'm going to put a negative 0.45 toward aim down sight speed and a negative 0.19 toward sprint to fire. It's a really good grip, guys. It helps with sprint to fire, and it does hurt to recoil a little bit, but it's really good grip. This gun doesn't kick a lot. I'm using overpressure ammunition, guys, 9mm. Negative 0.20 toward recoil smoothness, and I have a plus 40 toward bullet velocity. Obviously, you don't have to use overpressured if you don't like. You could put an underbarrel on it. If you want to put a barrel or an optic, go ahead and throw it on there. It's completely up to you guys. Let's hop into the firing range. I'll show you how to use it. Guys, we're in the firing range with the VAS-Nest. We're going to be shooting targets like this right here. Like I said, with all the SMGs, you're going to be practicing with these 2 slots right here. At that distance, this gun definitely is pretty weak, but honestly, at this first distance, this gun's still very solid, guys. Very solid, good gun, guys, and it's just hard to beat this gun. There's a lot of other guns that can compete for this slot. You can use the MX-9, you can use the Hurricane, but honestly, the VAS is just, I feel like, an all-around really good gun. Obviously, at this 10-meter range, it is very weak, but still, when you're fighting people up close, this is a very solid gun, and honestly, probably the best gun you can find on the ground off the bots. Guys, I really do appreciate you checking out the video. Leave a comment down below if you found a gun that you really like the most, and I'll see you next time. I'm out.